Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn Lang with Prescriptive Health Solutions. As your wellness guide today, we will be diving into something powerful: self esteem and personal development, two keys to unlocking your potential. This webinar will explore how self esteem fuels personal growth, why it matters in the workplace, and how to take charge of your own development. Let's get started. So, what are self esteem and personal development? Self esteem is how we value ourselves, our worth, and confidence. Personal development is the intentional pursuit of growth, such as skills, mindset, and habits. Let's explore two examples, one of each. A practical example of self esteem in the workplace might look like this. Imagine Sarah, a marketing coordinator, who's been tasked with presenting a campaign idea to her team. She's nervous because she's new to the role and worries that her ideas may not be good enough compared to her more experienced colleagues. However, Sarah has a healthy self-esteem. Instead of doubting herself, she prepares thoroughly, reminds herself of her past successes, such as a project that was well received in her previous job, and views the presentation as a chance to grow rather than a test of her worth. During the meeting, she speaks confidently, accepts constructive feedback without taking it personally, and feels proud of her effort regardless of the outcome. Why this is self-esteem. Sarah's belief in her value and abilities allows her to take risks, handle feedback, and maintain a positive self-image, even if the campaign isn't perfect. This confidence not only boosts her performance, but also inspires her team to see her as a capable contributor. In contrast, low self-esteem might have led her to avoid speaking up, over-apologize for small mistakes, or feel crushed by criticism, stalling her growth and workplace impact. Personal development, an example of this in the workplace might look like this. James is a customer service representative who wants to advance into a team lead role. He notices that he struggles with staying calm during tense customer interactions, which could hold him back. To his own personal development, James takes initiative. He enrolls in a company-offered online course on emotional intelligence, practices active listening during calls, and asks his supervisor for feedback after challenging interactions. Over a few months, he has improved his patience and communication skills, tracks his progress in a journal, and volunteers to train new hires, showing leadership potential. By the time of his next review cycle, he's confident and ready to apply for the team lead position. Why this is personal development. James identifies a growth area and seeks resources to improve and applies what he learns intentionally. His efforts enhance his skills, boost his career prospects, and add value to his team, all hallmarks of personal development. Unlike simply doing his job, this is a proactive, self-driven journey to become a better version of himself at work. In contrast, without personal development, he might have stayed stagnant, reacting the same way to stress and missing opportunities to advance. How can you succeed in your career path? Let's look at some ways to boost your self-esteem. There are 5 ways that you can do this. One is practice self-compassion. A strategy might be speaking to yourself like you would speak to a friend. Replace "I'm terrible at this" with "I'm learning, and that's okay." An example of this in the workplace might be, after a missed deadline, focus on what you learned rather than beating yourself up. A second item is setting achievable goals. A strategy may be to break big goals into small wins. Success builds confidence. An example in the workplace would be, instead of becoming a top performer, aim for completing 1 extra task this week and celebrate it. A third item for boosting your self-esteem is challenging negative self-talk. A strategy around this might be to catch those inner critics and ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? In the workplace, you might swap out a statement, oh, I'll never get promoted, with, I'm working on skills to earn that promotion. A fourth one is build competence. This might look like mastering a skill. It's a confidence booster. Take a course, ask for feedback, or practice. In the workplace, use company training resources or seek mentorship. And a fifth one is surround yourself with positivity. This looks at seeking supportive colleagues and mentors who lift you up, not drag you down. In the workplace, this might look like joining a positive team, either on a project or a lunch group. So let's stop and consider, who lifts you up at work? Let's examine ways you can take charge of your growth and own your personal development. The first one, take initiative. Don't wait for permission. Seek opportunities. Volunteer for projects or propose ideas. This might look like pitching a wellness idea to human resources or leading a small team task. Second one, embrace lifelong learning. Stay curious. Read, listen to podcasts, or attend workshops. Use your company's learning platforms or ask for stretch assignments. These opportunities may be more available than you realize. Third one, reflect and adjust. Check in with yourself regularly and ask, what's working? What needs tweaking? Maybe after a big project, journal what went well and what you would do differently. Fourth one, seek feedback. Ask for constructive input. It's a roadmap to growth. An example might be after a presentation. Ask a trusted colleague, what is the one thing I could improve upon? And finally, celebrate progress. Acknowledge your efforts, not just perfection. Remember, growth is the goal. An example might be treating yourself to coffee after finishing a tough task. So let's stop and consider, what is one win you can celebrate today? Let's look at some common pitfalls to avoid. The first one is the comparison trap. Others' success is not your failure. The problem is comparing yourself to colleagues breeds doubt. This might sound like, they're so much better than me, that repeating message in your head. The solution is to focus on your journey. Someone else's success does not dim yours. Perfectionism is the second one. Done beats perfect every time. The problem, if it's not flawless, it's failure, right? Wrong. This kills confidence. The solution is to aim for progress, not perfection. Done is better than perfect. In the workplace, submit that draft report. It doesn't need to be a masterpiece yet. The third one is fear of failure. Remember that failure is feedback, not the end. The problem, avoiding risks will keep you stuck. Who cares if you mess up? Reframe failure as feedback. It's how you learn. So go ahead and try that new idea and test it out in a low stakes setting. The fourth one is over-reliance on validation. Only you define your worth. Problem is, waiting for praise to feel good is a roller coaster. So validate yourself first. Know your worth, even without applause. Suggestion, Keep a folder of achievements to remind yourself of those wins. And lastly, neglecting self-care. Neglecting self-care creates burnout. Burnout stalls growth. Burnout tanks self-esteem and it also stalls your advancement opportunities. So the solution? Prioritize rest, movement, and boundaries. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If at work you work through lunch, you need to take your lunch break. Really, take it. So let's look at your next steps. In closing, we really touched on 3 key areas: building self-esteem with compassion and wins. Remember that self-esteem grows through compassion, small wins, and positivity. The second, own growth with initiative and reflection. Personal development thrives when you take ownership, learn, and then reflect. And third, dodge the pitfalls. Avoid the traps of comparison, perfectionism, and fear. So for this week, an action item: pick one strategy, like challenging a negative thought or setting a small goal. Try it. Share your progress with a colleague or in your wellness group. See what happens. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found some good nuggets of information in today's webinar. Keep these suggestions nearby to remind you how you can build self-esteem and take charge of your personal development. Feel free to reach out if you have additional questions or comments. Be well.